What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here. I am with Matt Camp on Deal Machine, and we are continuing week number 2 of the Driving for Deals Challenge. And if you're looking right now to get your first wholesaling real estate deal, this is going to be the video for you, because there's not one better marketing platform out here to get your first wholesaling deal than just getting that car, looking for ugly houses, and getting it going. Last week we really talked about what is Driving for Dollars, why it's powerful, what you should be doing, like homework, everything like that. This part of the challenge is going to be more about marketing channels and kind of the marketing aspect on that, right? And so we're just slowly just teaching you how to do it so you can go get your first deal. Remember, the goal of this is to get your first deal in 30 days, right? That is the goal here. So we're pretty excited about this. Remember, guys, this is always a live challenge. So if you have questions, anything, we're excited to get it going.
Love it, man. Excited to get, if you're fired up too, put a 1 in the chat. Love to get you guys fired up, ready to go. I know last week we went through and really try to, again, hold you accountable every single week. So today we're going to get through, we're going to be going, do a quick recap, quick overview of the full 30 days. If this is your first time joining us, that's okay. We're going to help get you caught up here quickly as well. And then we're going to give away a huge prize for you, and then jump into the training for today, give the homework again, and help you keep building momentum, guys. So I see a lot of 1s in the chat. Glad you guys are ready to go.
All right, let's get it going.
All right, awesome, man. Well, let me share my screen here for you guys as well. I'm going to help you guys visualize a lot of this stuff as we go through here. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, anywhere on social media, feel free, if you want to go to drivewithzach.com. That's going to be the best place to make sure that you're all caught up and you continue that you're on the email list, to make sure you're following along with us this whole time as well. Let me see if I can share my screen there. Perfect. Awesome. Zach, if you want to pop the slides up there on social too.
There you go.
Perfect, guys. So again, if you want to go to drivewithzach.com, if you haven't registered, if you're on Facebook, YouTube, anywhere like that, go there. It's just, it'll get you on the email list to make sure you're getting reminders for this, that you're getting all the homework, the tips, everything like that. We try to send out an email almost every single day with this thing. Again, if you want to put in the chat too, where you're watching from. I mean, our goal with this as well is to help you guys hold each other accountable, help you team up. We've done challenges before where people meet future business partners. It's awesome to see you guys be able to get in here, and everyone in here, you're taking your time out of your day to invest in yourself. You are putting yourself in an action first mindset like this. And it was awesome to see how many people led with action. Last week, I mean, I took a screenshot of just a couple of them. We had like 50 people turning the homework, man. It was awesome.
You saw the ones that we just posted out. It's just, there's people taking selfies behind the ugliest type of houses I've ever seen. It's crazy. I don't know, you probably didn't see it. I just literally just had to put them on, but like show my phone. It was crazy. We saw some real ugly ones. And the truth of the challenge, it's just getting people to do the most important thing and getting in front of these ugly houses, right? So let me pop my phone up here. Like, there's some great ones. Can't show like two. I don't want to stand this, but like, I mean, you see this one, right? Like, let me show my thing's just nasty, right? So like, for the people watching this that like need to understand, like, these are the type of houses you need to be looking for, okay? Like, it's not crazy. Right? I know I'm going to get everyone motion sickness, but like the roof's a little bad, like not looking good here, right? Or we're just scrolling down, looking at more people at the entries, right? We got a nice one right here. So shout out to Nina. Love Nina out here. Nina out here, little selfie, little tall grass. Like, this is the little thing that's going to make you 50 grand right there. Like, look at that. Thing's beautiful. So many great deals. I'll show one more, and then we can kind of just, I can go all day about
it, man. Yeah, no, I love to see it.
It's nasty. We got, I think Debbie, let me see. We got Debbie on here. FY, first and foremost. I mean, look at this thing. Like, you get that many people looking at houses like this on a daily basis. And a lot of them are just using dmzach.com for it. They're getting deals. One last one. I'm going to give a shout out. This was pretty cool. Daughter out here. Found an ugly house. Nice.
That's so great.
They're getting deals. The point is, if you do this long enough, these massive deals are going to come through with it. And that is the point, right? That's the point we're talking about today. Like, you're going to get a ton of deals if you just find these ugly houses. And a lot of these people don't understand. Like, they hear me talk about it all the time, but now we have the challenge and we're forcing them to do it. They're actually getting in front of these sellers. They're getting in front of these ugly houses, and it's leading to wholesaling deals.
There we go, guys. And again, step one is getting out there and finding the best leads in your market by going out and doing this. And every little win you have like this, they add up. You little win after little win's going to add up to that big win, that first deal. And then, hey, many after that. Like it. So again, over here, love to see you guys getting out there, taking action, put in the chat how the challenge is going so far for you. If you already did, if you did the homework, put anything you're learning as you go, give us a little status update. We want to hold you guys accountable and, be able to come in and again, this challenge, Deal Machine is a tool, any of this stuff, we're only as useful as you guys getting out there and taking action on it, right? We can be a shovel to help you dig with, but you still got to get out there and lead with that. So it's awesome to see you guys killing it so far, getting out there. And again, like seeing the pictures of you incorporating family members, stuff like that is super inspirational too. So awesome to see that. I'm again, Matt Camp over here with Deal Machine. Just give you a quick little intro on us. As we're going through this challenge together here, we talked about this last week, is such an exciting opportunity right now to be in wholesaling, to be getting into this. Like we are more valuable now than ever, where times are uncertain. You see inventories at an all-time low, you see demand is still crazy high. Like if you're able to go to sellers and find the motivated ones, find the ones dealing with a problem that you can come in and solve, using capital, using speed, using convenience, helping people move quickly, helping people move as is, solve problems like that, big problems for people, and you get big rewards by people being willing to trade that quick solution, you coming in there and helping them out for a good deal. And so getting in there, that's our whole goal, is to help you step up, help you take action, help you buy right, help you go follow through with the playbook that has worked over and over and over again, and solve the number one thing that wholesalers have a hang up on when they get started. It's going out there and finding that great deal. So that's what this challenge is all about, guys. And step one, awesome to see how many people follow through with that, hold themselves accountable, help, posted that homework in the Facebook group right there. Again, if you're watching on social media, if you want to join us and jump in, it is not too late. Like we are just getting rolling, guys. It's only, September 8th. So go again, it's drivewithzach.com. Go there, sign up for the email list. Make sure you're on this as well, and watch today's training. You have a chance to catch up now and be able to get there and and not miss out. We're giving away a ton of prizes over time, so we're just getting started, guys.
Oh yeah.
So awesome. I do want to mention, with these challenges as well, it's cool to see not only you guys getting started, but people like Mark right here, who in the past, we did one in March that he came in and said, hey, this transformed my life in a positive way. It built a memory that'll last a lifetime for him, because again, he was incorporating his family, just like the picture you showed there, Zach. Jared's another one who was saying, hey, I don't think I'd get on my horse and take action if it wasn't for this. That is our whole goal with this, guys, is to lay out very specific action steps and make sure that you never have to reinvent the playbook, but that you follow this playbook that, again, we've had over 10,000 deals done using Deal Machine. And, whether you're using the Deal Machine app or not, we're going to give you that playbook, give you those action steps to take, to get out there, to follow and to go find great deals, guys. So following that with Jared, Santiago's the last one here who said, hey, this challenge helped me understand anything is possible as long as you take these small, consistent actions daily. So that's what we showed you week one, is what those actions are. What are the right actions to take to go out there, drive, look for those houses, start to build that list. Again, we'll recap that here briefly on today's training as well. But then today is going to be moving into that next phase of, okay, now that I'm starting to get that rolling, I'm starting to fill up my funnel with leads. What do I do with those? How do I get in front of sellers in today's market and get their attention and have a great conversation by being proactive here? So that's our mission, and is to give everyone the power of real estate investing. We love teaming up with Zach here to help kind of co-host this challenge with them. Again, we're really proud to say we're the highest rated and most reviewed app out there for investors to find off market deals like this. We've had over 5,000 reviews, 4.8 and 4.7 out of 5. In terms of, coming in there and really kind of putting our money where our mouth is and letting our customers do the talking. And Ryan here is another example of who we're pulling this playbook from. He went through a 30-day challenge, and on day 17, he landed his first deal. He's done over 400 deals since then. So it's people like Ryan who's scaled this thing. It's people like everyone, that's gone through these challenges and have landed deals from it. It's pulling those playbooks and sharing with you guys exactly what works over and over. And not to mention, Zach knows what he's doing too. So, this challenge here for September, every single week on Fridays, we're going live like this. So 1 p.m. Eastern time, try to bookmark that out as you go through this every single week. We want to help you overcome challenges. So put questions in the chat here. Again, go to drivewithzach.com if you want to be able to register for this if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. But if you're in the webinar jam, go ask us questions here. We want to help you guys out, work you through your challenges, and then incentivize you to get out there and take action with very specific homework. So, we talked about last week's homework. I'll do the giveaway here in just a minute, but the homework we're going to be assigning every single week to follow that playbook. And we've got that at the end of today as well. And we want to incentivize you too, of not only working toward that first deal, but give away a ton of free stuff in the process here. So it's going to look like this every single Friday. We're getting in here. You're not too late if it's your first one, if you're just watching this live, or if you're watching the replay right now. Awesome. Cool. Hey, be able to come in and follow up with this now too, and get started. And again, the real prize is landing your first deal. But if you follow us along live every single Friday, you'll have a chance to win a free giveaway here too. And you've got to be on live to win those giveaways. So we're going to be getting that here in just a second. But Zach, is there anything you want to add there in terms of, how this challenge is going to work, man?
Not much. We're trying to get your first deal. And that is the point of today through drawing for dollars. Heck, I see some people in the chat, virtual drawing for dollars if you want to, right? Love that, just got to go out here, look for those ugly houses. You'll get some deals, right? And it's really not that complicated of a process. I think a lot of people want to complicate it. But what if the house is this ugly, but not with that? It's just follow the instructions we have. We literally have the game plan of what to do. And hey, you can download it. You can write. You just got to write down what to do. And I'm telling you, if you did on the last challenge, like last week's, like what to do, and you do it, if you did it this week, you are a quarter of the way there to getting your first deal. And if you do tonight's homework for the next week, you'll be halfway to that deal. That is the point. Like we're slowly getting to that point. And so it's not about getting all hyped up for a day and then going out. It's about consistently grinding it out and getting the deals from there.
There we go. And to start off with, again, if you're going to do this, turn in the homework, follow along with us and hold yourself accountable, we're going to be incentivizing you and for the action takers in here to give away this free stuff too. So today I will start off with and just reiterate your homework that was due to qualify for this initial giveaway was simply just build a list of 100 driving for dollars leads. We had people in there, using Deal Machine to do it. We had people writing down the leads. We had people, entering spreadsheets, all kinds of awesome stuff. They were putting in the hustle, putting in the work to get it done. And that was it for that first assignment, was simply get out there, find 100 rundown houses. We're going to, again, quickly recap today how to do that and then move into the marketing section of what to do when you have those leads, how to reach out to those sellers. But one person in here is going to win a prize worth over $800, which is an entire year of Deal Machine. So entire year Deal Machine starter will hook you guys up immediately after this call. You'll get an email from me and our support team to be able to get you all ready to go an entire year. And then a couple hundred more free skip traces with that. So, we're going to be talking through what is skip tracing? What do you do with that? How do you get in touch with people? Like, what all can you do with the app here? We'll touch on that here in just a minute, but that's our goal to start off with, is to hook you guys up with the full toolkit that you need to go out there and land that first deal. So I have a full spreadsheet pulled up here, guys, of everyone that turned on in the homework on the Facebook group. Again, we asked you to post a screenshot, just proof of you getting those 100 leads. If you use the Deal Machine app, there's like a little spot that tells you how many leads you have in the app. So I saw a ton of people posting that, but just being able to, so you don't have to post the addresses or anything, but just showing that evidence that you have 100 leads right there. That's what we asked you guys to do in the Facebook group. And, so I went through, I collected all those names, Zach, tried to keep up with everybody. There's a lot of energy in there. So you've got an awesome group, man. But, being able to go in and, pull those into a spreadsheet. I do have a random selector on my screen here, and you have to be on live to win. So I'm going to go through, randomly select a winner with this number generator here in just a second, and go down the list until we find somebody on live right here to win this thing, man. So drum roll, please. Let's get this first winner here. All right. Jump in the chat if you're on here, man. Is Joshua Humphrey.
Oh,
is he on here?
Better be.
Giving him the first chance. I know there's maybe a slight lag, so we'll give him 1 minute here. I'm trying to look to see if his name's on here. But oh, he says he's on here. Let's see. Everybody jump in the chat and can give him congrats here. I see he's live on here. Josh, if you can hear us, put in the chat too. So congratulations, man. Here we go. There we go. Everybody give Josh a little bit round of a hand here. Awesome. Fantastic. Is he somebody that's been active in the group much, Zach? Do you know? Do you recognize Josh's name?
I have 113,000 people in it. So it's kind of tough for me. Let me check. Let me pop up what he posted to.
Yeah, pull up his post.
112,000 people.
There we go. He's on live. Love to see him say in the chat if he can chime in here. But awesome, guys. Thanks for everybody being so supportive here too. Jumping in the chat saying congrats. And again, the big goal here is going to land that first deal. Awesome that you got a year deal machine. You've got that toolkit to be able to do this for you. But
he said, okay, my goal was to get 400 leads. Each day took longer and longer, but after 3 days of drawing for dollars in a total of 6 hours, an average of 3 hours a day, I finally hit my goal, hit 400. From dead grass to tall grass, busted up roofs, boarded broken windows, peeling paint, and some just straight up ugly houses. I have some calling to do. I like a challenge, so I want the 30 days to be another success story. But I don't want to be the only one. That's why I'm posting, hoping to motivate you. Get out there. The odds from a deal from a paid list is in the thousands. Building your own list from driving, quicker results, and the odds only being the hundreds. Let's go. So insane. So shout out to Joshua right there.
Wow. Awesome post, man.
2 days, 6 hours. That's honestly not terrible. Like, you really do the math here. 401 for 6 hours. That's 60. I think he did a little more. I don't think he did 66 in an hour. That's a little much. Probably closer to 20, I would say. So
yeah, I'd say on average it's probably 20. If you use tap to add mode and you're in an area that's dense and it's got a lot of rundown properties around you, we have seen people do like 1 a minute before. So it can't happen. But I think if you're budgeting your time, if you're goal setting, I'd say try to plan on one every 3 to 5 minutes per lead, I'd say.
Yeah, Josh said I'm here. So he's on there.
Yeah, I see he's in the chat, or he's on the live attendee list there. So.
The
Q&A. There it is. I'm a silent watcher. Okay,
it's the only post he's ever made in the group. I looked it up. So yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Dude, and he already pushed himself to 400 leads. That's amazing. I mean, that's
what did he get?
Do what?
What did he get?
No, I'm saying he already added 400 himself. That's legit.
No, I mean,
prize. Oh, a full year deal machine. So Joshua, you're going to, again, right after this, man, you're going to be getting, an email from us. I'll hook you guys up there. And then you've got a ton of free marketing credits too. So like free skip tracing, free postcards, all that stuff. I see he's posting in the Q&A, not the chat there. That's why I couldn't find him. So congratulations, man. Again, the real prize here is getting that first deal. So now you're obligated. You've got to get out there and don't let this thing go to waste. But with through this whole thing, we want to reward the action takers. So if you guys want to win that next one, make sure to jump out there, finish the homework, turn in the homework, and we're going to be doing another giveaway next week too. So congratulations. Excited to dig into today's training. So Zach, is there anything else you wanted to touch on before we actually jump into the training for today?
Yeah, I mean, he put 401 out there. Like, he not dilly-dallying and being a little baby about it, right? Getting to work. Yeah. The people that actually get results get the work, right? Everyone kind of watched the live stream yesterday. It's all about the work. It's all about the consistency. It's all about the grind. It's all about the power. It's all about what your why. And if the why's not making you cry, you ain't going to go out there doing it, right? It's you truly trying to make a financial change in your entire life that's going to actually force you to get in that car, look for ugly houses. The point is, no one else is finding these deals. You got to go out here and earn it. You're not going to go manifest it. You just got to go out there and get it. What's yours is out there. The way I look at it is the way I treat cold calling, right? I always say, like, who's got my money today, right? Because somebody on that list has my money. Go in your car and go get your check. Someone out there has got that ugly house that you're going to put under contract and you're going to wholesale and you're going to get that cash. Somebody out there has got your money. It's an ugly house. Go find it. Go earn it. You deserve it. If you sit at home all day, you ain't going to get it. You got to be a lion. Lion doesn't wake up in the morning, says, oh, is the gazelle just going to come to me? No, you got to go out here and hunt it. You got to go out here and do it. That's it.
There we go. You're firing me up too, man. I love this. So, yeah, again, and today we're going to show you exactly what to do, how to follow up with this, how to continue this momentum. Again, if you missed the homework the first time, if you didn't have a chance to do it, or maybe it's the first time you were on one of our trainings, hey, it's not too late. Jump in now. Again, make sure to go to that drivewithzach.com. There are things that we're going to be showing off today as well in the webinar jam that we can't share on social, just to make sure that we don't share any unwarranted information there. So, we're going to turn off the screen share for a little bit here in just a few minutes. Don't need to yet, but we will in a second. So if you want to see the full experience of this with everything that we're showing off, make sure to go to that drivewithzach.com. Again, I'll show off a lot of stuff inside the Deal Machine app here too. So I'll put this up as well. If you're on the webinar jam, it's just dmzach.com. That's going to be a 7-day free trial. So if you want to try us out for 7 days as we follow along in this thing, make sure to go to that. I just put it up in the webinar jam for you guys too. And that link's going to actually give you a ton of free marketing credits with it as well, which those marketing credits, those free dollars, again, it's a couple hundred free skip traces. It's free postcards and things. We're talking about that today, of what to do with those, how to leverage those, how to turn those into your first deal or your next deal. So, from week one, I do want to quickly touch on Zach here. And again, Josh, you put in the chat, you put, I'm so grateful. Thanks. Awesome, man. Again, congrats to you. If you want to win this next one, follow through on the homework here this week. But
There's
to start off, do what?
There's way more stuff to give away.
Yeah. That's we've got, again, every week we're going to be giving away something big, and we got a grand prize to wrap this thing up at the very end. So, you guys, again, we're just getting started here, guys. But week one, that kickoff last week, we did talk about building your list of motivated sellers. We talked about getting out there, and really the primary method being driving for dollars. Mostly because, hey, one, if you're driving around and driving for dollars, hey, it's getting in your car, it's driving around, it's looking for those properties that have the tarp on the roof, the gutters falling off, broken boarded up windows, front yard, backyard a mess, signs that it's vacant, like really overgrown grass, a really overstuffed mailbox. I use the example of we had somebody who works at Deal Machine land a deal using the app. When he was driving around, he found a property that had Halloween decorations up, and it was like March. So it can be things like that, where it's just, hey, for whatever reason, the owner isn't keeping up with the appearance of the property. And the reason why those are so valuable is that's the number one indicator that they might be a motivated seller. And then two, these are the least competitive leads out there as well, because those properties don't just show up on any old list that you pull. You can get lists many other places, using data, using even other things in Deal Machine that we'll touch on today too. But being able to go out there and find a list that you earn, that you've put in the work to do, that's a little bit of a barrier that not everyone's going to do. That makes it much more likely that those homeowners are ones that aren't hearing from, all the other, would-be investors and wholesalers out there.
Oh, that's great.
Going into this as well, I know, just mentioned last week, we also touched on, so again, go to that drivewithzach.com to be able to get the replays. We're going to email out the replays for you too. But, we showed off things inside the app, going in and basically telling you how to select an area to drive, how to pick your best areas in your market to drive, how to add leads. We talked about the tap to add mode, which inside the app right here, I'm just showing this off briefly. I won't share any data here, but you can see here's the Deal Machine app. Here's what the desktop version looks like. You guys were getting out there, and you were probably using the mobile version quite a bit as well, where if you drive around and use the mobile app, have that pulled up, it's going to lock on your location. And as you drive down the street, you can either use all these little black dots. These are all properties right around you. You can switch over to satellite mode too if you want to really see the individual houses and be able to tap on them that way and pull up more info for each individual property. But as you go through here, you'll notice these little black dots, and then every time you added a lead to your list, it'll also turn that into a blue pin. So we talked about tap to add mode is one kind of quick hack here, that if you're trying to catch up on the homework, like for the guy who added 60 in an hour, they were probably using tap to add mode right here, where if you click into that, you'll then be able to literally just touch on properties and then add them to your list of leads here. So we talked about that last week. And as you're driving around, you're looking for those rundown houses, you're clicking on them, you're on the mobile app, clicking on them, adding them that way, tapping to add them, and doing that fast, whether it be in person or we showed off a virtual driving option as well, where if I click this start driving button and then click anywhere on the map, it'll import Google Street Image right into the Deal Machine app as well, and you can do it virtually as well. So we kind of showed that off last week. We talked about using this highlights button here. So that's one that if you're on Deal Machine Pro, you get access to data that you can overlay on the map right here, where you click highlights. You could say, yeah, just show me, all the vacant properties around me, apply those filters, and you'll see them start to pop up all around you, where you've got, let's see, here's one right here. You've got, filters popping up that will identify very specific properties that fit your criteria that you're putting in right there. And then, adding properties there and keep going. So, we added that as an option of being able to use data to get really specific on, adding properties that are really high priority. And then finally, we wrapped up by showing you how to add drivers by clicking on your top right corner, going to team. I have Elliot as a driver right here where he's driving around for me. And you can even see your routes, your route tracking that Elliot's done, that I've done, to be able to kind of just visually look at the map and figure out like where have I driven, and really kind of make sure you blanket an entire area as quickly and efficiently as possible using that route tracking piece too. So we covered all that last week. Zach, is there anything you wanted to touch on in terms of like, driving for dollars, adding your list of leads, kind of that step one that we really hit on last week?
No, I mean, not much. The one thing about the list is I think a lot of people have this one issue is they want to pull as many leads as possible, and they're like, oh, I'm going to do over 100, right? Yeah, I'm the man or the woman doing it. But like, if you can only cold call 150 this week, don't pull 200. Pull as many as you can call. The point is to call these leads, right? Of course, the reverse driving for dollars is great too. Do that. But like the point is to call them, text them, get in front of those type of sellers. You don't need to be the type of person that pulls too many lists and skip traces and pays them, and then they can't like actually go market to them, right? The point is to go pull this information and then actually market to them. So if you can only do 30 or 40 calls a day for the week, if you do 6 days, it's 240. That's your max, right? So you got to understand, you don't want to go drive for dollars 8 hours and then you have no hours in the day to call after that either, right? So it's better to call 6 hours a day and then drive for dollars 6 hours a day and then cold call to 2 than it's just to do the full 7 and then only have like 30 minutes to call, right? The point is to have the conversations with the people, not just to find the ugly house.
Absolutely. So that's a really good transition, man, on what we want to, the new stuff we want to show off today. So again, we went through right there, quick recap, watch the replay if, to really refresh yourself on, really all the details on how to do this stuff, how to find those properties, how to use your time as efficiently and effectively as possible, especially if you're going to try out Deal Machine in tandem with this. It's that dmzach.com. Watch that replay to make sure you get the most out of it possible. So as you're going through that, that's one place to start is, hey, get to that 100 list of leads mark, be able to just get used to driving for dollars, get used to getting out there. And whether it's you doing it, in person or virtually, or adding people into your Deal Machine account and doing it with you, hey, use those pro tips and get out there and get to 100 leads as quickly as possible. That was the goal for week one. Week two, like you said, Zach, right here, man, that's what we're talking about is all right, now that I've got, a list of 100 leads and I'm going to keep building that, I'm going to keep going on that, as you'll see with the homework too. What do you do with those properties? What do you do with, again, if they're the highest quality leads in your market because they're rundown houses, they're, that's the number one indicator that they could be motivated, they're the leads out there. How do you go from here and reach out to sellers and get in contact with them, get actually their attention, in 2023. So, I'm going to go through and share what we see our best practices, what we see work over and over again. I'll show it off inside the Deal Machine app too of exactly how to do this and how to reach out. But Zach, I'll kind of give you the floor to start with. Can you maybe give a quick overview in terms of marketing strategy, some of your top strategies in today's market right now?
Yeah, if we're talking about reverse drawing for dollars is number one. Go to Wholesale.com, learn how to do it. Put the sticky note on the house. Hey, this is Zach. Quick question about your property. Please give me a call back. Outside of that, though, cold calling is going to be number one. Just get their phone number, right? TruePeopleSearch.com, costs no money. Go out and do it, right? Now, obviously, you can pay for skip tracing with dmzach.com. You got that too, but not everyone's got the funds for it. I get it, right? So if you're on the 7-day free trial, you don't have the money for it, TruePeopleSearch.com, go do it, right? One of my other favorite like sneaky strategies that no one ever talks about is you can just text them. But not only just text, right? So you see the ugly house, right? One good way to do it, remember, you got no money for texting. You can just True People Search, get their phone number, text them. Hey, is this the owner of 123 Main Street? I just drove by the house. Is everything okay? You can just literally just text that. You will get a response back, probably a call. It's great just to get in front of these people, right? And statistically, the more people get in front of, the better. But you got to remember too, what's even better than that? Literally, this is an extra 5 seconds of work. Just take a picture of the ugly house, and then send the picture of that ugly house and say, hey, is everything okay going on the property? This is Zach. I just drove by it. You will always get a response. Let them know that you and your partner, me and my partner Matt, were looking to buy a couple houses in the area. I promise you, you will get a response back. So when we talk about competition, right? Your average competition, they might drive by that ugly house. Very rare, but they might, right? If you're in like Phoenix, Houston, like more wholesales in that market, and they go home, they call them, they probably have a 30% chance of getting in front of that seller. If you put a sticky note, call, and text, you're probably at 80%. So you're getting in front of probably 2 to 3 times more sellers than your competition, even if they drove the same route. That's the unfair advantage of doing it that. And then double that too. It's better just to hit them all like that because you're doubling your response rate, which you can drive less and get more deals.
There we go. Love that, man. Yeah, and we'll. I know reverse D for D. That is one super powerful strategy. I know you've put out some really, really good videos on that. We'll also go through that here a little bit today. When we turn off the screen share on social, I'll show you guys exactly how to do reverse driving for dollars inside the Deal Machine app as well. I think just to kind of start with in terms of overall marketing strategy, the thing that we see is if you're able to get out there and kind of do a little bit of a marketing mix where people are going to respond to different marketing methods in different ways. Some people are more likely to respond to a call versus a text versus an email versus a door knock or what have you. I think like being able to do a little bit of kind of a 2-pronged approach is how we really describe it. Something that first prong being, something that you can do that's short term. So something that requires you to one-to-one, whether it's a call or a text or again, door knock, an email, like something, reverse D for D. I would put all that under kind of short-term marketing is what we call it, is that one-to-one marketing. And then if you can combine that with long-term marketing, which we really talk about as kind of a nurture process, something that you can automate and really set it and forget and do one-to-many of them and not require your time to reach out to every individual over and over again, but use technology to automate that stuff. When we look at really like what is the secret sauce to follow up or to separate you from people, it's that follow up. It's being consistent with this and doing a mix of things and following up over and over again. Where, if we look at the data, if you only send like one marketing piece, if you only do one thing to reach out to somebody, and you still it's a qualified lead, it's somebody who's going to do a deal. If you only have one thing, especially like a postcard or something like that, you're missing out on the deal. It's still like 85% of the time if you stop there, if you don't reach out anymore. And even it's somebody who's going to sell their house. You've got the right lead. You put in all the hard work to do that. You've reached out to them one time. You've put in the hard work to do that. If you stop there, you're still missing out on that lead, on even getting in contact with them 85% of the time. If you only do 3 follow-ups, it's still like 52% of the time that you're missing out on it. So you being able to go through and do a variety of things and try to automate as much of it as possible and really have that consistent follow-up over time is, just looking at the stats, going to give you way, way higher chances of being in contact with them. And again, you're already building a list of the best leads out there. Now you got to, consistently follow up with them. So just wanted to share that with people too, when you're thinking through like broader marketing strategy, what to be doing.
Exactly.
Awesome, man. So what I can show off, if you don't mind, feel free. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, make sure to go to that drivewithzach.com.
There we go. Drivewithzach.com.
There we go.
we love YouTube. They're the greatest, but they don't allow us to show private information out. That's why a lot of wholesaling.com I have to put under private server. So if you're on the webinar, you can see it in there. But still want to give everyone YouTube the access for it because YouTube pushes it to people that have never watched my channel before. So if you're watching this new, you've never met me, drivewithzach.com, and these should be posted in freewholesaling.com when the challenge is over. But yeah, drivewithzach.com, you want to see the private part of it too. Remember, guys, the algorithm does not like it. So don't get upset. You can't see it. Yeah, drivewithzach.com.
Yeah, so if you register there for free, you'll be able to jump into the actual webinar and see all the info that we're sharing right here. I'm going to spend a few minutes here showing it off inside the actual Deal Machine app, so that way you guys have those action steps on how to reverse D for D, how to do that short-term marketing, and then how to do that long-term marketing. So let me jump over here, Zach. You can still see my screen here, right?
Oh, yeah, I can see it.
Perfect, man. So again, I was showing off the map view to start off with. Every individual property that you're adding inside Deal Machine, when they turn into a blue pin, you've hit add on the property. That all goes to your leads tab inside Deal Machine here. So again, whether you're adding them on mobile, you're adding them on desktop, what have you, like they all sync up to that same place right there, to take action on. And now if you did the week 1 homework, awesome. You should have 100 leads in here or more. Joshua had over 400. So awesome. Congrats again on winning that first giveaway. You'll see with the homework this week, we're going to have you keep adding leads. It's a numbers game. You got to fill the top of that pipeline, the top of that funnel with an adequate number of leads. You following through and doing that consistently over time. When you do that over and over again, it's not if you're going to land that first deal, it's when you land that first deal, because you're putting in the right work, you're putting in the right action steps. The right action steps are step 1, again, building your list of leads. But then step 2, you can't just have the list. You got to actually, reach out to them. So if you're using it inside Deal Machine right here, I will mention, you've got the kind of 2-pronged marketing approach. We'll get to that here in a second. Reverse driving for dollars, how to do this inside Deal Machine here. And again, if you go to dmzach.com, that's the free trial. I put that up in the webinar jam here for you too. There's a couple ways you can go about doing this. So if you went out and you drove for dollars and you just didn't take this next step, hey, you can redrive it really easily. I'll show you that here in a second. You also can add leads inside Deal Machine. So if you have an outside list from anywhere else, any other technology, you've got a water shutoff list or anything that you've got outside of Deal Machine, you can really easily import that into the app as well. And, you just hit add leads right here, import the list, and then you can take this next step I'm about to show you to reverse D for D. Or we do have a list builder option that you get with Deal Machine too. That is an awesome way. If you click on it right here or right there, it overlays the map, on top of Deal Machine right here. And you can quickly go in here. It takes literally less than 60 seconds to pull a list that you can either make that's very, very specific, create a filter that's got, thousands of data points between tax and mortgage information, liens, MLS info. We've got MLS information for every single state, even the non-disclosure states. It's sold data and everything. You've got property information. You've got owner types, again, liens, all kinds of stuff you can tap into. Or you could literally just go in here and just say, hey, show me, the foreclosure list or really any kind of individual motivator right there. I can back out and say, hey, show me, I've got senior owners or what have you. And in real time, you'll see, hey, I've got 108 leads in this zip code that fit that particular criteria. I hit build list, and now it's quickly pulling it. It should take just a minute here to automatically have this to work with. So whether you're using List Builder inside Deal Machine, whether you're using your D for D list that you already made and you just didn't take this extra step, whether you're using any other outside list that you imported into there, all of that right there. This is the reverse D for D part. This is, how you take action on that is this little drive this list button. And this would be something, if you have Deal Machine Pro, you get access to this. So make sure if you're going to start a free trial and you want to try reverse driving for dollars, you hit drive this list. You have Deal Machine Pro, you hit drive this list. And what it's going to do from here is quickly pull up turn by turn navigation So give you the exact route. And this, is showing me right now, I've got 108 properties. It's going to take me 10 hours to do 108. That's, it's going to take a little while if you're pulling a big list like this, right? But I can go in and use the mobile app, and it'll give me turn-by-turn navigation to every single one of these properties for me to reverse drive for dollars. So Zach, do you want to quickly explain that again in terms of like what reverse D4D means, like how to, once you're driving to each of these houses, what do you do with it?
Yeah, I mean, it's freewholesaling.com. Just go there, the free wholesaling course. Mm-hmm. But grab.
I can hear you okay.
Yeah, you just go to the dollar store. You grab one of these things. You find an ugly house, right? Hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question about your property. Please give me a call back. Go to Google Voice, get a phone number, slap it on the house. This is equal, and Matt, shut your ears, to like this 55, 60 cent postcard that Deal Machine has. It will get the same results. They're both direct mail. It's a piece of paper with written on it. I hate to tell you, this will get more results than any postcard. Mm-hmm. I don't know what your postcard response rates are, but it's most likely under 2%.
You'll definitely, the in-person sticky note will absolutely get higher response rates. The good thing about the mail is the automation, being able to send it easily. But the sticky note, start with the sticky note.
Like, let's look at Joshua. He put 400 out. Mm-hmm. It will cost him maybe $300 to send that mail out versus $1 doing this, right? So like, if you're balling on a budget, you want to get like 500 of these right here. Boom, $1. And so it's like, it's another method to do. You can go to Amazon. There's stampers. You can get custom on them too. But like, they're a great method out here. And heck, you can go to like a code violation list and you get those and just reverse drive for dollars those. They're great methods too. And then, I mean, Deal Machine's got their postcards too. But I'm just telling you, like, it's the little stuff that your competition's not doing that gets you the results.
Yeah. So for sure, I mean, I'd say start there on the reverse D4D side. Again, you can either use the list that you already drove for dollars with, like every time you go out there, you're gonna have a list right here that I can go in and I drove this list in July right here. So here's 25 leads. If you go in and actually hit drive this list, it's going to pull this up and it'll show me, hey, it's going to take me almost 3 hours to drive it. So whether it's one that you've done yourself already, whether you import a list, whether you use our list builder to do this, any way that you have a list inside Deal Machine to reverse D4D it, just hit the drive this list button. And that's going to be an awesome way to start off and get in front of people. So start there. We also talked about, again, the two-pronged marketing approach. You've got short-term marketing and long-term marketing, right? Yeah. So inside the actual app, anytime you see a property, you click on view lead, you'll see that property pop up right here. It's corporate owned. Let me pick one that's not corporate owned if I can find one. Here we go. Absentee owned. Going in, you'll be able to see like, hey, yeah, I've got a start mail button and I've got a skip trace button. These are kind of, when you think about like long-term and short-term marketing, try to bucket them into those two areas. So skip trace, that's, hey, pinging our database, coming back with phone numbers, email addresses, things that you can do to call, to text, to email, to reach out to them on the spot right there. That way you're not delaying, you're immediately trying. That's the short-term marketing, right? The one-to-one, you getting in touch with Timothy here. So you hit skip trace. You'll see, give it a second, it'll come back. We've got a 90+% hit rate in terms of coming back with information. And there you go. You've got 14 numbers, 5 email addresses, all this right here is absentee owned again. So you've got all of that right there for you to be able to call, text, get in front of that person right there. So you've got, one-off action you can take that way. You can do that again, one-off skip tracing, or you can actually do it in bulk as well too. Just go here, on the CRM, or on the leads tab rather, click in that top corner, skip trace leads, and be able to you're off to the races there. Again, if you're going to do that, dmzach.com for the free trial, you get 200 free skips with that. So that's going to give you enough to really get out there and complete the homework for this week and help you, take that action and start to have these really exciting conversations and start to snowball and try to do that first deal. I mean, we do have people who literally, again, it's a number game. You got to, right place, right time for this to happen. But we do have people literally all the time get lucky and say, hey, the fourth person, the 10th person I called, like they did a deal. That can't happen. But you got to get those at bats to even give yourself a chance to be that person. So the goal is to put in the work here to be able to call people up and, reach out that way. The other option as well. So, again, we talked about short-term marketing and long-term marketing. So short-term is that skip trace and acting on that. Long-term, what you can do here is this start mail button. You click on that, and this is what we mean by using automation, using follow-up, using kind of lead nurture to stay top of mind with somebody. And you already know that they're a really qualified lead because it's a rundown house, right? If you are sending postcards, you're going out there and you're able to stay top of mind. So that way, you're hitting their inbox, once a month, or I've got it set to every 21 days right here. I'm sending, 6 total pieces of mail. You can set it and forget it, where inside the Deal Machine app, you can say, hey, send them a postcard every 21 days or once a month or once every other month. You can set all of that for yourself inside the app right there. And that way you don't have to touch it anymore. It's going to automatically do that for you. And you'll be able to quickly see like, hey, I'm taking action. I'm reaching out to a lot of people. I'm putting myself in position so that way when they are ready to sell, when they are dealing with an urgent problem, they think of me first because, hey, I'm the one that's been, hitting their mailbox once a month or once every other month for 6 months now or what have you. So that's kind of to putting yourself in the long-term position to get in front of them, do the reverse drive for dollars, do the skip trace to get in front of them that way. And then, be able to nurture that lead over time and stay top of mind. So that way, when the timing's right, that they think of you, like execute on that strategy right there. And you're putting yourself in a phenomenal position to do this. Yeah. So I do want to mention that, for the mail, if you're really getting into this, for, long-term and really focused on tracking and budgeting, this mail tab up here is going to really help you out there too, where you've got a mail center that'll tell you how many postcards you're sending out, how many you have scheduled for the month, how much you're spending on that. You're able to actually go in and see like, hey, how many have I sent and where I'm tracking the mail, like where is it in progress? So you can really use this in terms of your goal setting and analytics and budget setting. And then you actually have a postcard tab that you can go into Deal Machine and customize everything about the mail you're sending. You can go in here and we've got about 9 or 10 default mailers. So that way you don't have to overthink it and you can just hit send mail. Or if you want to get really specific and like, make it look like your own brand or really customize the wording or anything like that, you basically have like a little Photoshop in here where you can jump in and just start editing and change the front and the back and, change the signature and, do all of that right here inside the app really easily. So, if you want to go in here and customize different size postcards, you want to do, we even have like door hangers, handwritten letters, all kinds of cool stuff to be able to use and kind of take your marketing to the next level. But don't overthink it. I would say just start off with viewing that lead, hitting start mail. You can select that template right there of which one you want to be using because you've got all those preset templates inside Deal Machine. And then just, let it send every 21 days or so and then set it and forget it. Again, don't overthink that.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any mail tips on your end, Zach, or want to make sure we give people the best advice on that side?
I mean, using your direct mail is great. We use our own postcards too for a lot of things, but the automation is just one click. It makes it easier, right? The type of mail that we're talking about is like a lot more expensive. So like the one-off, let's take the Deal Machine. I like it.
Awesome. So and again, the goal of that automation is to put yourself in position that, statistically you're more likely to get that call back. So, I will mention last thing, in here too, when we're talking through, how to use Deal Machine specifically. And if you're on Pro, we talked through using Alma a little bit, which one of these weeks we're going to be doing a deep dive into using AI to help you close more deals, beyond just what we're showing off in these trainings. But Alma is super helpful. Alma, for anyone not familiar, it's this little AI assistant we've built into Deal Machine right here. And it lives kind of this bottom right corner, this little purple circle right here for you. But when you click on that, it'll pop up right inside the app and it'll say, hey there, I'm Alma, your AI real estate companion. I'm still developing AI expertise, so bear with me. We did launch this only a couple months ago. So you guys are some of the first people to really use this thing. But then it says, hey, what questions do you have about this individual property? And people have used it. I know last week we talked about like deal analysis a little bit, in terms of how they use it. Where I see people using it for marketing is kind of getting general advice. You can even ask like how to get in touch with a seller, which, the answer is basically what we went through today. But if you want to get really specific on like what do I put on my sticky note? Or, if I'm reverse driving for dollars, or I'm going to send them a text. What do I say? Or, I'm going to actually get in touch with the seller. What should I ask them about? You guys have, freewholesaling.com. Go there first. You've got all kinds of awesome materials in there to help teach people how to have conversations with sellers. But this next, and we will actually address that on future trainings too, like working through objections and things like that. But if you were, on the spot and you're like, hey, what do I say here? How do I ask? You can go in and be able to ask it for a cold call script, and it'll just spit that out for you. Just like, hey, here's some things to be able to consider and to talk, how to talk to the seller a little bit. Or you can even go in here and there's even tips on negotiating and be able to come in and say like, hey, how do I negotiate with the seller? What should I ask them? What are some objections I might be facing? That's a preset prompt right here too. And really all this is using is it's using the power of ChatGPT, of, AI, in that way. And we have their open API plugged into our prompting, our messaging, our off-market property data. It'll really help you kind of be very real estate specialized and kind of give you some real estate superpowers, in the power of your pocket that way. Beyond what you would have to do by jumping back and forth between that and any other AI tool. So we just wanted to make it really easy, quick, convenient to be able to use in the app and help you kind of think through how to talk through sellers, how to analyze deals and all of that as well. So, that's one thing I would be aware of, and you can go in and be able to use it again to help think through how to talk to sellers. And even things like, if I'm going to send a text, it'll give you a little language right there that I can just like copy and, go and use, or I can skip trace right on the spot right there and use that to do it. But also, if I'm going back and forth and having a conversation with it and saying like, hey, write me 5 more SMS messages, it'll go in and listen to my prompting as well. And you can come in and use it in that way too. So just a couple of pro tips of how we've already seen people getting proactive with using AI to help them be more productive and help them in the moment. Again, go to that freewholesaling.com to really educate yourself beyond that, but you have a little assistant as well for you to tap into. So
exactly.
Awesome. Cool, man. You can turn on the screen sharing again on the the StreamYard. Again, if you were watching on YouTube or Facebook, go to that drivewithzach.com, register for the webinar that way, and that way you're going to be able to see the full for the next one, the full training like that inside the webinar jam too. But do you have anything? I know people are going to be starting to reach out to sellers this week. I'm going to get to the homework in just a second to assign that to them. We're going to talk about this more next week too. So make sure to show back up, because we're going to be talking about how to talk to sellers and how to have those conversations with them, beyond you guys starting to have those conversations this week. But can you give people some general advice, Zach, on like how to have that initial conversation when they do reach out to sellers this week?
Yeah. So FY everyone, on the bottom real quick, freewholesaling.com. Like when it comes to actually knowing how to talk to sellers, things like that, it's better just to watch me talk to sellers. That can help you out a lot. But we have all of our scripts and trainings and stuff in there. But like a quick crash course is, let's say you're going to call people up. What's my cold calling script? Hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question about your property. And like, that's basically the basis of it. What's the question? Are you interested in selling it? So like for most of the cold calls, it's like, hey, is this the owner of 123 Main Street? Yes. Hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question about your property. Are you interested in selling it? Or are you interested in selling your property? Right? Pretty simple. Like, again, let me repeat it. Hey, this is Zach. Is this the owner of 123 Main Street? Yes. Hey, I had a quick question about your property. This is Zach. Are you looking to sell it at all? Or are you interested in selling it? And 100% of all your wholesaling deals, they're going to say yes. And all the ones that aren't wholesaling deals are going to say no. If they say, yes, I am looking to sell my house. Okay, great. Well, me and my partner, Matt, are looking to buy a couple houses in the area. And basically, when I talk to these sellers, I literally only focus on 4 things. It's an acronym. It's called MCTP: motivation, condition, time frame, and price. And the stuff we teach inside of freewholesaling.com. Really quick, I know I'm spinning it really fast. Go to freewholesaling.com, full breakdown. You can download stuff, all that. Motivation: why, Mr. Seller, are you looking to sell the property? Condition: can you tell me a little bit about the house? Time frame: when are you looking to sell the house? And price: what price are you looking to sell the property for? What's a good range you're looking to sell the house for? Then from there, you get off the phone, say, hey, let me talk to Matt about this and see if it's a good fit. Call the person back. If you're virtually wholesaling, you talk to them, see if they're ready to make a decision, and then give them an offer there. But if you're in person, say, hey, talk to Matt. Seems like we potentially want to buy the property. When's a good time for me to go see it? Acquisitions: go to the house, write up the contract, download it at freewholesaling.com. then go to the 4 rents. You can cold call the cash sales, whatever you want to do. Find a cash buyer, walk into the house, qualify them, sign with contract, title company, money, and then repeat the process. I know I did that really, really quick, but go to wholesaling.com to learn exactly how to do it.
There we go. Love it, man. And I think just having the right mindset too, going into those conversations and really thinking through like, how can I solve this person's problem? And, to be able to do that, it means asking great questions. You just gave them that acronym, ask questions around that, and then listen, like just let them open up and try to figure out like, what are ways that we can use, on our end, helping them move quickly, helping them move as is, and give them a cash offer, like these different tools that we have at our disposal to solve that problem and help them, because again, they highly likely to, or most likely to be a motivated seller when they're when they have a rundown house, when you're finding them through Driving for Dollars, and, get in touch with them the right way through marketing like this. That next step is having that great conversation with them. We're gonna be talking about that next week as well to help you guys really get comfortable. But in the end, like, don't feel like you need to know everything going into that conversation. Like, go in and just ask great questions, let them open up, and you'll get better and better and better at this over time. So I do highly recommend, again, freewholesaling.com to be able to get more well versed in that conversation with the seller in what the actual transaction looks like. But you're not even going to get to that if you don't build your list and start marketing to them and do it in a consistent way. So, exactly. That's our step. That's what we're challenging you guys this week with the homework, is to go in here by next Friday, again, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're going live again. If you didn't win the giveaway this week, Joshua, congrats again to you, man. But if you didn't win this week, that's okay. Here's your chance to enter for this coming week, before next Friday. And it's to follow through and to keep going. It's to keep adding those leads. So again, you talked about 100 leads. We're going to challenge you to do that one more time today and say, show up by next Friday with your homework turned in of 200 leads. So going through this, really, I highly recommend reviewing that replay. We're going to email out both this replay and last week's replay right after this. I see some people in the chat asking about it. We're going to be emailing this out again for you guys as well. So you can go in and be able to follow through with kind of that first step of driving for dollars and finding those initial list of leads. So get out there and get up to 200 total. We gave you a quick crash course today, but the replay from last week gives you way more info on how to do that as effectively as possible. And then the next step, as we talked about today, it's reaching out to them. So at least 100 of those, at least half of those leads, we're challenging you to reach out in at least one way. That means reverse D for D. That means call, text, postcards, whatever you're going to be doing to get in touch with them, go do it. Like, this is the fun part, guys. It's going to be, this is when it can become real and give yourself a real at bat to have a conversation with somebody who's looking to sell their house. So that's what we're challenging you to this week. To turn it in, we want you to post proof of your list in the Facebook group, which again, we had a ton of people do last week. To make it easy for me to find, I found everybody for this one, but making it a little easier for me to find if you use that hashtag, just hashtag driving for deals challenge. That way I'm going to be searching by that and find you guys that way too, because we've got so many people in that group. It's a great resource. That'll make sure I don't lose your homework in any way. But again, you're just post proof of this, where if you take a screenshot or a picture showing that you have the 200 leads, and maybe include a little bit of an update too, of like, hey, I reverse D for D these, and I sent mail to all these guys, or I called 100 of them, or include a little bit of an update in there. That'll make it so that people can continue to encourage each other, continue to learn, continue to network, throughout this whole thing, and hold each other accountable. So, Zach, do you have any advice on the homework here?
Stay consistent. That's it. That is the homework, is staying consistent. That the point is not the amount of leads I'm telling you, it's just doing it. And so showing up and actually doing it. So you did 100 last week, keep it up. It's not impressive just to do 100. It's impressive to do 100 a week for a month or 2 months straight. That's the impressive part. So I know it doesn't seem crazy, but remember, when your brain says, oh, maybe I'll just do 50. Oh, it's tough today. It's hot outside. No, I got to stay consistent. That is it. It's not impressive to go to the gym for a day, but to go to the gym for a day every single day is very impressive, right? That's the point. And so, yeah, going to the gym, it's not like, oh my gosh, but the consistent part about it is, and that is the point of the challenge. Yep.
And, so from there, one, I would say you've got this. Just like getting in the gym. Hey, we're getting in the real estate, the wholesaling gym right here. Get out there and if you follow through, be consistent throughout this week as well. If you do that, you're going to be entered for our next live giveaway, which is also worth over $800. Again, if you missed out this week, here's your chance. Like, jump on board, complete the homework, turn in the homework, show up next Friday, and like Joshua did today, give you guys a chance to do this too. And really every week too. I mean, we're going to make this, it requires consistency. It gets, it's a challenge. It's going to get, it's simple and straightforward, but it does require work. It requires you to get out there and hold yourself accountable. So the people who follow through with this will get a smaller pool of this each week, because just naturally we're challenging you to stick with this. And people don't stay in the gym every day. It's hard to do that. It's the same thing with this, like, follow through, guys. So you're going to be giving yourself a higher odds of winning if you keep following through, right? So the next live giveaway is going to be doing that as well. I'm going to be monitoring the Facebook group. I do want to do one last reminder here, is if you want to use Deal Machine to help you out with this. I know we've been showing off the demo throughout this thing. DMZach.com is how you get the 7-day free trial to do it. That's going to be included right there. Also, you get a ton of free skips and 50 free postcards with that. That'll help you cover a ton of this homework. It'll help you get out there and do as much of this as possible for free and take action on that. So you've got that option is the DMZach.com. The other option, and we talked about this last time too, we're doing a special offer for you guys where if you're like, yeah, I'm going to stick with this, and I'm not just doing this for 30 days, I'm doing this for 6 months, a year, I'm making this happen, I'm going to be doing one deal and many deals after it, my first deal, and keep going. Well, upgrade to this where you've got Deal Machine Pro for a full year if you go through this route, which Pro, that gives you 3 users. So people who drive in with you, bird dogs with you, like Elliot I talked about earlier. You can drive for dollars. You can virtually drive. You can pull, lists using it. You can do comps, which we'll touch on in a future call. You can use Alma, the AI assistant. You can use the highlights, the drive this list, reverse D for D feature. You've got all the mail features, the CRM features. You get cheaper skip tracing and postcards than you would on Deal Machine Starter. And you get invited to our weekly Zoom calls. And you get all these free skip traces and postcards with it too. So if you want to go that route and say, I'm going to do this for a full year, normally that'd be over $1,400. If you're going to, do that and pay for it every single month, rather than doing that, we'll give you 33% off, $990 total. And I'll put this in the webinar jam too. It's just dealmachine.com/Zach if you guys want to go that route. So give me a second here. I'll pull that up for you guys. Dealmachine.com, there we go, /Zach, to be able to do that and get 33% off. So again, if you're going to stick with this and do this for more than 6 months, or make this something that is you're committed to doing your first deal and many after it, go that route. You're going to get a way better deal than you would just going through our website. So I'm going to hook you guys up with that. I'll keep these both up here. I do want to mention before we get to Q&A here, we do have office hours too. And so we're doing one, literally starting right now. Ryan's in this thing. Our head of customer success runs these 4 days a week, where you can go in and ask very specific Deal Machine questions. So if you're going through and trying to complete the homework and you want some help from our team, just go through that and you'll have that answered for you, ready to go, and happy deal finding, guys. So I'll keep this up for you. It's dmzach.com for just the 7-day free trial. Or if you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this long term, you do get a trial with the 33% off option too. But this will give you the opportunity to get out there and commit long term and say, yeah, I'm going to do one deal and many after it, using that link. So you got both those as your opportunities to jump on this, in addition to everything else we're doing here. And Zach, do you have a few minutes to answer some questions here, man?
Of course.
Awesome, cool. Well, let's get to that too for you guys. So let's see. Do you see any? I'll let you lead this if you want to. Yeah,
I'll throw some up here. Hey Zach, I understand the whole marketing and the whole contract thing, but I'm confused when I should hire or tag an attorney. The reason why you're having that question is because you haven't gone to wholesaling.com. You do not need to hire an attorney. You do not need to do any of that stupid stuff or an agent or any of that stuff. You got to use your regular title company. If you go to wholesaling.com, you'll learn there's lawyers in title companies. I'll look over your contract for you absolutely for free. Costs no money at all. Don't freak out over it. It's all covered in wholesaling.com. Just don't worry too much about it. Jose says, does the app help with the process after finding the lead, or do we have to have our own process? It really depends on what type of marketing you want to do. DMZach.com is not going to call the seller for you. They're not going to go follow up with the seller for you. They're not going to see when they're looking to sell it. They're not going to qualify the seller. The point of DMZach.com is to get the lead. That is it. you have to close it yourself. There's no app or anything that's going to do it for you. You got to do it your own work. All right.
Yep. We do have, and we'll cover on future trainings too. We have a little bit of a CRM to help you, track the leads, and we've got a comms tool to help you run the deals. So you've got a couple, other tools, but in the end, yeah, like Zach said, you got to lead with taking action. It's up to you to get out there and use, we have the shovel for you. You still got to use it to dig with. So.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Any chance to get a deal this year without any experience and money? Bento, dude, you know this. In 3 months, you can get your first deal virtual wholesaling. Daily, I get a virtual wholesaler sending me they got their first deal. And it was within a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Like, it's not that difficult. If you just got to put in the work and be consistent with it. Jose says, are boarded up houses good properties to track down? Of course they are. Love boarded up properties. You can't put a sticky note probably. I mean, you can, but you'd rather just call them, get in contact with it. Let's see. Any advice to get into a gated? I'm not going to go into a gated community and try to drive for dollars there. Those are just not the best areas. Plus, technically breaking in, I don't know about too much about that. I probably wouldn't be doing that. Peter's got a good one here. What's the lowest price point we should try to wholesale a place at? See, that real estate is very market specific. So you're asking me a market specific question. The truth is, as long as you are in low crime areas, the cheapest low crime areas are going to be the best for you statistically across the country. So Matt is in St. Louis. There is parts in St. Louis you do not want to drive. You don't want to take your kids to. And then there's areas that are low crime rate, but they're really cheap, where regular blue collar workers are working. And, those are good areas to drive for dollars, right? And so they're both cheap, but one's high crime and one's low crime. Choose the one with low crime. What's your opinion on this with driving for dollars?
Yeah. And I think in addition to that too, I know within the app itself, you can actually, we talked about this last week of, you can use the highlights button to help you kind of figure out hey, is this an older neighborhood? Is this, what's the assessed value of most places in this neighborhood? Kind of use data to overlay on the map and figure out is this a good area or not? So I do recommend kind of using that. You can even use Alma. We touched on this last week a little bit. You can use Alma and ask hey, what are low crime neighborhoods in St. Louis? Things like that. So it's I think you've got a couple options there of using kind of data and information to help you in addition to everything else you just said there.
Oh yeah, JD's got a good one. Should I avoid corporate owned properties for drawing for dollars? I don't like corporate owned properties for drawing for dollars. I like trusts. Usually if it's a corporation, if the corporation only owns one piece of real estate, I still avoid it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. If it's an ugly house, I'll leave a sticky note on it. As long as in Deal Machine, you can see this. If it's a corporate owned and it got bought in the past month, I'm not going to touch it. If it's corporate owned and it looks ugly and it's been 4 or 5 years, yes. Just avoid banks, servicing companies, things like that. You should be fine.
Yep. And we do have a tired landlord filter as well. And a lot of those might be under that, that as well too. So
I would say that, but my favorite tired landlords are the ones that don't put it under a corporation. They don't know what they're doing. Those are the best ones, but there are other companies I've done before. Usually when they put it in a corporation, not an LLC, it's different too. Well, LLC is a company, but if it's an incorporated thing, it's usually less of a good wholesaling deal. But if it's an ugly house, put it on the list. I don't discriminate. Yep. If it's ugly, put it on the list. I promise you. If when in doubt, just put it on the list. I promise you they'll always do better.
Absolutely.
Right. Let's see the webinar if there's any questions on there.
Yeah, I saw some good ones in the webinar jam here.
Let's see here. I mean, what's a criteria? Guys, go to freelisting.com to learn your criteria. I'm not going to drive for dollars in Los Angeles. I would virtual drive for dollars in a better area, like Tennessee, for example. I'd rather do that. The criteria for drawing for dollars I've always had is make sure the population for the county is over 50,000 and make sure the median home price is under 400. Heck, if you're in a bigger market, try 500,000. Anything above that, don't be doing it. So don't drive for dollars in New York City. Don't go to really expensive places. Miami's probably not a good one either. You could do deals in Miami though doing it, but I'm just saying you just got to be careful with it. Let's see here. How do I get the replay? Just drivewithzach.com. We could
Yep.
email.
We'll email it out here.
And I'll pop up one last question here. This is a good one. Robert says, thought they just passed a law making unsolicited texting illegal. Robert, you don't know what you're talking about. Fire your guru. If that was illegal, then all the politicians can't be doing that either. There's more unsolicited text than ever right now. There's a law I would know about it, and then every texting company would get in trouble. Some guru is trying to get you to do something, probably a cold calling course or something like that. An unsolicited text is theoretically, it depends on what you're doing it for. If you look at the FCC's law on telemarketing, us as real estate wholesalers are pretty much exempt from that. So whatever law with the FCC, you can, when you're wholesaling, you're fine. When you text somebody trying to sell something, having them, so for example, if I find a ugly house and I text Matt, hey, are you the owner? Are you looking to sell it? That's legal with the telemarketing. Now, if I text Matt, hey, go buy my bodybuilding program, it's a book for $500. I'm trying to get him to give me money. That's illegal. I'm trying to give him money. So don't worry about those texting laws. You're fine. So yeah. Any other questions you want to answer?
Yeah, I think you got most of them, man. Let's see. Yeah, if you want to share maybe a link to the Facebook group one more time in Webinar Jam, here's the office hours again to help you guys out if you have deal machine specific questions. Here's again the two main discounts that we've got for you guys as well if you're going to try a deal machine to help you execute on this stuff. And then here's the homework for this week. It's getting out there again. Last reminder: find another 100 leads, so you get to 200 total. Reach out to at least 100 of those, and then post that in the Wholesaling Houses for Real Facebook group that Zach just shared a link, or he's sharing a link here for you guys too. So if you use that hashtag, and make sure I won't miss it. But I'll really be scouring that and make sure you all I'll get credit for the homework. So
all right.
If you missed out on the giveaway this week, make sure to do it. Follow these directions to be able to enter for next Friday's giveaway. And we're excited to help you guys continue to follow this playbook. So
keep it up, guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you next Friday at 1:00.
Yes, sir. Have a